Towners. Black Lives Matter protesters threatened the family of Los Angeles prosecutor Jackie Lacey, the first woman and first African American to hold that office, at her home, only to be chased off when Lacey's husband David emerged from the Lacey home pointing a gun at them. 73. Senate Democrat leader Chuck Schumer threatened Supreme Court Justices Brett Kavanaugh and Neil Gorsuch during a speech at a pro-abortion rally. "I want to tell you Gorsuch, I want to tell you Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price. You won't know what hit you if you go forward with these awful decisions." 74. In response, Chief Justice John Roberts admonished Schumer for his comments, pointing out that such comments from government officials are both inappropriate and dangerous, while Republican Senator Josh Hawley announced plans to file a motion to censure Schumer in the Senate, which was backed by 14 other senators. 75. For his open threats against Kavanaugh and Gorsuch, and even fellow Democrats criticized Schumer for his comments. 76. Rather than apologize, Schumer tried to double down and distract from the controversy by making moral equivalence attacks against President Trump for his admonishment of liberal Justices Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Sonia Sotomayor for their partisan behavior on the bench, then tweeted a selectively edited video of his speech where he conveniently left out his public threats against Kavanaugh and Gorsuch, which in turn drew massive criticism against him on his Twitter account, including some posters calling for Schumer's resignation and arrest for his public threats against the conservative judges. 77. Even President Trump joined in on the criticism of Schumer for his threats, indicating that he has to pay a severe price for his ill-advised comment. 78. California leftist David Delgado faces 4 years in prison after he pleaded no contest on a felony assault charge for attacking a MAGA hat-wearing bar patron in a restroom in Hermosa Beach, California, then stealing the man's hat and cowardly fleeing the scene. 79. New York Republican Representative Elise Stefanik was harassed while grocery shopping when an anonymous leftist bigot left a vile, hate-filled note on the windshield of her car outside the store. 80. When Stefanik disclosed the incident on her Twitter account, she was attacked and ridiculed for it by other leftist bigots who sided with the note-writing bigot, and some of which even falsely accused her of faking the note for sympathy. The Lafayette Police Department and the district attorney in Boulder County, Colorado are asking the public for help after anti-ICE Democrat county officials illegally released Francisco Barraza-Porras, an illegal alien charged with child sexual assault. 81. In another case of liberal stupidity, unhinged Antifa feminists in Mexico City accidentally firebombed themselves in a pro-abortion protest, which turned into a riot and saw the rioters commit numerous acts of vandalism. 82. 7 of the rioters were arrested while 13 people, including some of the rioters, were taken to hospital for treatment for burns and other injuries. Democrat presidential front-runner Joe Biden has a reputation as a street thug in Washington, D.C. 83. It didn't go over well when he attempted to bully a blue-collar worker in Michigan's Democrat primary. 84. While campaigning at an auto plant during the Michigan primary, Democrat presidential front-runner Joe Biden was asked by an auto worker about his gun confiscation plan. The discussion got heated. Biden got up close and wagged his finger in the face of a blue-collar worker. The blue-collar worker told Biden he didn't appreciate him sticking his finger in his face and Biden's bullying tactics. Biden told the voter, "You're full of S," and threatened, "You want to take this outside." 85. Assault charges were filed by independent journalist Jack Allison against MSNBC reporter Chris Jansing and several MSNBC security goons after she and the goons violently attacked Allison and attempted to steal his cell phone for asking why the fake news channel tried to cover for Bernie Sanders by refusing to report on an anti-Semitic attack at one of his rallies. 86. Missouri Republican lawmaker Ben Baker received death threats from cowardly and immature proponents of drag queen story hours in that state's public libraries. 87. Leftist election violence occurred in Germany as SPD-supporting far-left punks, putting their inability to make cohesive or rational arguments for their positions, and the weakness and indefensibility of same, on display, interfered with, and engaged in censorship and silencing of, an information booth for conservative political party Alternative for Germany by blocking the booth from public view with a large banner, then vandalized and destroyed the booth and fought with police officers who tried to remove the punks. 88. Several of the hoodlums were arrested by police for their actions while the rest were later seen running away in cowardly fashion to avoid arrest, demonstrating the lack of courage of their convictions. Trump supporter Marcus Goring was viciously assaulted by a security guard at a Bernie Sanders campaign event at Virginia Wesleyan University in Virginia Beach, Virginina 89, a VWU spokesperson, tried to claim that Göring was disruptive and attempted to get violent against the guard at the event, while the school itself tried to twist video of the incident out of context. But the video itself discredited the school's deceitful claim by showing that at no point did Göring get violent toward the guard, but that it was instead the guard, who he said was motivated by political reasons and hatred of President Trump, who became violent against him. Göring subsequently announced that he intends to file criminal charges against the security guard for the assault. Christine Pelosi, the daughter of Nancy Pelosi, drew heavy criticism on Twitter for putting up a tweet which tastelessly celebrated both the 2017 assault on Senator Rand Paul and Paul's recent diagnosis of COVID-19 1991. The tweet has since been deleted for being in violation of Twitter's rules, an extremely rare instance of a leftist's tweet being deleted for that reason. April 2020. Leftist Rhode Island public school teacher Amy Bednarz is now under investigation by her school district after posting a tweet offering to pay someone with the CCP virus to cough on President Trump. 92 Bednarz deactivated her Twitter account soon after she was exposed by the Gateway Pundit when that site contacted her Facebook page for comment regarding the tweet, and she was also exposed as having alternate Twitter accounts which she used to make racist comments and harass people she disagreed with. Andy NGO exposed Antifa anarchists and terrorists seeking, via Twitter and other social media, which has frequently provided cover for them, to take advantage of the COVID-19 pandemic and use it as their excuse to openly advocate committing crimes against the public, including home invasions. 93. Anti-Trump Florida doctors Jeffrey Fresh and his wife Laura Webb Fresh were arrested and charged with criminal mischief, trespassing, larceny and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. The two were caught on camera stealing a senior citizen's Trump flag with their kids in tow. 94 Florida GOP Congressman Matt Gaetz chastised the Freshs for their actions on Twitter, calling what they did despicable parenting. Unhinged Antifa terrorist Luis Marquez publicly made a vile and profane death threat against Andy NGO on a podcast, threatening the journalist with cannibalism. 95. Miami Herald columnist Fabiola Santiago drew heavy criticism, including from Donald Trump Jr., on Twitter after she openly hoped in a since-deleted tweet that the CCP virus would kill President Trump, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and their supporters. 96 When an unapologetic Santiago lashed out at her critics with more vitriol in response. 97 She was met only with even more criticism. A church in Raleigh, North Carolina was targeted with violent threats and ignorant hate mail from anonymous cowards, despite the church being permitted to hold services while adhering to COVID-19 guidelines, thanks to a sensationalistic, alarmist, and irresponsible news report by Raleigh NBC affiliate WRAL-TV, which conveniently left out that the church had permission to hold services and made a false claim about what churches are legally allowed to do during the pandemic. 98. May 2020. The real face of the instigators in Minneapolis. Screenshot from FB video of guy who smashed AutoZone windows, carrying hammer, trying to sneak away. 99 100 101. See also, 2020 Antifa riots. The new Black Panther Party held a protest today outside a Chinese-American restaurant in D.C. to protest China's treatment of Africans. The restaurant has no affiliation with the Chinese government. 102. Mentally ill 20-year-old black racist 103 Jaden Hayden, who was sent to a nursing home for seniors in the Detroit suburb of Schaefer, Michigan despite being diagnosed with COVID-19, was arrested and charged with assault and removed from the facility to the Detroit Detention Center after he brutally beat a 75-year-old resident at the same complex and hurled racist slurs. 104 at the man, the footage of which Hayden filmed and posted online, along with footage showing him also viciously assaulting other elderly facility residents and hurling racial slurs at them. 103 105 The assault victim, an Army veteran, had been illegally seized from his apartment without his family being notified and was sent to the same facility Hayden ended up in as the result of a misguided order given by corrupt Democrat Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Where nursing homes in Michigan were forced by her to accept people who test positive for COVID-19 but are not sick enough to require hospitalization, despite those nursing homes not being equipped or being under-equipped to handle such patients. Whitmer has come under heavy criticism as a result of the incident and her mishandling of the order, which led to the Army veterans' victimization. When Donald Trump spoke out on the incident after hearing about it, 106 Most who replied called for Hayden, who has also posted racist black supremacist videos to YouTube under the account name, Pranks and Dares the Animal Ferrari, 103-107, to be severely punished for his actions and for the nursing home he was placed in to be investigated, while some TDS-afflicted Trump-hating leftists who replied used Trump's response as an excuse to attack the president while they chose to side with Hayden because of his race and ignored the crimes he committed. The elderly man subsequently died of his injuries 108 and Hayden was subsequently discovered to have attacked the man on multiple occasions as well as stealing and fraudulently using his credit cards, which led to additional charges against Hayden and may also lead to an upgrading of the existing charges already against him due to the man's death.